All right, positive energy all the time. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sometime I have to speak on some kind of controversial situations, and this is one here that I have to speak on. We're going to get into it. Rep your city, rep your city. We got Indianapolis in the building. We got Cincinnati in the building. Of course, everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. We got Shreveport in the building doing big things. We got Buffalo in the building. And let's get it going. Who else we got here? We got Chicago in the house. And I got to talk about this. We got PA in the building. Got to talk about this. Have to talk about this situation. I, I hate the one sidedness in the diaspora. In the black diaspora, everything is one sided. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's one sided. It's one sided. I'm sick of it. But we're gonna get into it. Come on in, come on in. Let me give it a few minutes so everybody know what's going on. I don't want to start out the presentation. So let's at least get 75 people. Hit the like button. Let's get 75 likes. It really isn't about whether we come from Africa or not. That's not the conversation. Regardless if you came from Africa or not, we would all still be melanated people and we would still all work together. Do you agree or don't you? All white people don't come from Ireland. All white people don't come from one particular place, but they stick together. What you think about that? So if we using the fact we Native Americans for division, that's not a good thing. Not to mention most of you brothers that say that you Native Americans definitely have African blood. And the idea that you're a Native American and that you know exactly who everybody slept with is totally ridiculous. Okay, Flack? If you think you're a Native American, you have pure Native American blood, that is totally ridiculous. You have two parents, four grandparents, eight great grandparents, 16 great great grandparents, 32 great 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 grandparents, 64 great 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 grandparents, and you don't know who those people are. You do not know their bloodline at all. I rest my case. You do not know who the 64 great 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 grandparents of your family are. You don't know who they are. You can't show me any data. There is no data on it. There is no data on your family. You do not know who slept with who. Change the subject. You would lose that debate. You would have to bring proof of your 64 great 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 grandparents, and you don't know who they are. You absolutely don't know. As a matter of fact, you don't. I mean, let Seti do his thing. I don't go back and forth. I said what I said, and that's over with. And we let Seti do his thing. I didn't say it to go back and forth. I said what I said, and it is what it is. I don't do back and forth. I said what I said, and he said what he said. I'm not going to go watch it. I'm paying no attention. He can't diss me, a little boy. You got to stand little boy play. How you going to diss me? He little. Well, how old is it? How old is he? He can't. I'm not paying no attention to that. I don't do this. I don't do internet beefs. So there's not no internet beef. He says some clown stuff. He need to get himself together. I also noticed he's got a pro FBA video all of a sudden. And FBA is the greatest. So I see this latest post, the FBA all the way. Yeah, okay. You got my message. Yeah, fix it. Yeah, I seen this new FBA post. Looks like he got my message. Don't flip flop and change to get yourself together. Try to diss me. I thought I put the fire under you. I seen the FBA video. FBA is everything now. Why I tell them to make a Pan African video? And I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I got PTSD, so I can't do beefs. That's still my brother. You know what I mean? He just my little brother. He's not my big brother. I'm the big brother. He's the little brother. And you got to stand the little brother's place. That's all. But I thank him for the publicity. And hopefully Detroit one day be a great city like Chicago. little shots fired. Prop, prop. This is the rack. Okay. Just a little shots fired. You know, you in Detroit, okay? You the little brother in the little brother city. You know what I'm saying? It's a big brother in the big city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're the little boy city. My grandmother lived there though. I love Detroit, but it's cute. That's a cute little city. Detroit's cute. We got members up there. Ugh. Yeah, we got members in Detroit. That's water under the bridge today. You know what I'm saying? That's water under the bridge. I never messed with that crowd. You know, I never messed with Sinetta and all them. I stayed away from that. It was goofy. It was always goofy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get up to 75 likes and we'll get into this conversation. But yeah, I got videos about me. I've had a lot of videos about me over the years. I never watched them. I never watched them. I don't do internet beefs. I mean, as far as SETI go, I mean, a response from Tariq is going to be worse. Yeah, he opened up a whole can of worms. FBA is not going to like him trying to push Pan Africanism. Okay. And now he's back all up in FBA's britches. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, make your mind up. You know what I'm saying? Make your mind up, dude. What do you want me to say? I got PTSD. I can't be beefing. Beefing. I can't beef. I'll get kicked off the internet. I can't beef. I can't do beef. I got this horrible past. Let's get a few more likes up. I can't beef. I can't internet beef. This is the internet. You got to be built for this, okay? You young people, if you want to get on the internet, you got to be built. You got to be built for tough for the internet. All you got to do is just keep FBA and Tyreek name out of his mouth. That's all. He'll be fine. I mean, he's supposed to be mad. I said all this knowledge was trash, which it is. So he's supposed to be. All that stuff is trash. All them things he telling you to pay to go watch. None of that's gonna help you. None. It's all garbage. Okay. You want your children. What can your children get from his knowledge? Nothing. Your children ain't gonna make no money listening to him. Your children better go to school and learn to trade. Ancient Kemet is not nothing. It's trash. What do you want me to say? Really, to be honest with you, the teachings of ancient Kemet ain't even Kemetic because we don't go back in time. We rule today. So no pharaoh gives a damn about the past. So he's not standing on no king business with that nonsense. And you're in Chicago, it's a new mayor. They take the old mayor's name down. They put the new mayor's name up. And you out of here. You're not going to see the new mayor giving a history lesson on the old mayor. Duh, where do you do that at? So a lot of these brothers be calling themselves, Sarahs and pharaohs, but they don't really move like pharaohs. Pharaoh don't do history. Yeah, we don't do history. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got there. I'm glad everybody's over here. So now I'm going to get in some more trouble. Yeah, pharaohs, we don't do history. We have to feed our nation today. We have to provide water today. We have to provide food today. We have to provide knowledge today. Today. And we want our reparations today. Yeah. Yeah, our relatives picked a lot of cotton, but we want our money today. We focusing on reparations today. Yeah, we used to be Negroes and we used to be colored, but we foundational Black American. We focusing on today. History, schmistery. Y'all know I don't like history. I don't do history. I do the mystery. History is his story. Mystery is my story. History is trash. I keep telling y'all. If the history is not based on your profession, like the history of farming, or the history of electricity and being an electrician, or the history of plumbing, or the history of dentistry, the history of agriculture, and you're a farmer. If it's not that, it's trash. Point blank, period. It's garbage. It's trash. It's everything he be teaching is useless information. Will never be used. Never. None of his children will benefit off of Sarah Soon Seti's information. His historical information is trash. I mean, I know he's mad. He's supposed to diss me and send more people over here to see if we tell him that his old historical information is trash. You need to get up to date and you need to talk about what we need to do today if he's really a Sarah. He got to make his mind. Is he a Sarah or is he an old historian talking about old stuff that's irrelevant? That stuff is irrelevant. It's just the facts. It's trash. That's why his channel is like that. My channel is a little weak because I insult a lot of beliefs. So no, nobody likes me, but that's okay because I don't like y'all anyway. So my channel was weak because of me. I run everybody away. A lot of people have ran. Well, they don't like me, including people that like that trash he's promoting. They probably hate me. What do you mean trash? Our ancient history is everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got 6 children. I ain't teaching my children none of that shit. On my soul. On my soul. None of my children don't got no slave name. I made sure they got the new names to build a new family. But you know, my baby girl is in medical school. They in the tech industry and stuff like that. My son doing animation on TV shows and stuff like that. They ain't doing none of that. Oh man, that old trash, man. Nobody care nothing about what them Egyptians did 50,000 years ago. Man. Come on, man. Keep it real. Y'all care? Let's be honest. Y'all care what somebody did like way back in the first dynasty in Kemet? Come on, man. Come on. And that fits this conversation because we got things to do, right? So, what is this conversation about? Right? Let me show you what this is all about. On June 27, 2025, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced the term. Oh, another thing I got to teach you. Let me see who this is. Let me show you something you don't never do. You see this? See, in the hood, you don't never do this. Okay? So when you run, so and so was talking about you. We do you dirty outside. So if he was on the block, right, and I'm beefing with somebody, and he come back to me reporting what the other person said, he would be considered a rat. So, brothers, this is feminine. What Black Africa is doing, that's feminine. Okay? That's for girls. He should have let me just see that on my own. So people like this is like spies, like, okay, running back and forth. So and so we're talking about you, right? That's not no masculine. Okay. So Black Africa, that's not masculine. That's like meow. Okay. Let me just not miss that part. Don't y'all ever do that. Let me see that on my own. You'll be running back and forth like a little B word. Okay. It's not gonna fuel no flames because I don't do all that. Can't fuel no flames because I'm not biting, right? And that could be a spy, the FBI. You see what I'm saying? COINTELPRO do that type of stuff. Come with a fake name, right? Because his name ain't Black Africa. Come with a fake name. So we're talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So where I come from, me and Seti would get a dude. See? We call him Seti. You know who Black Africa is? He running over here talking about what you said and running back and forth. But for real, boom, we'll catch him up in the mix on the streets. We'll catch him up in the mix on the streets. We would catch Black Africa up in the mix. I'm just telling you how it is. Don't be a chatty patty, okay? Running back and forth. But I've been doing this too long, so I don't do beefs. Say this waste of time. Ain't no flame. Ain't no flame. I don't got no flame. I don't got no flame. I already flamed. I already burnt that conversation up. There's nothing there. I already melted that down to the ground. The response is ridiculous at this point. You know what I'm saying? You can't respond when I say, "Oh, your information is trash, it's old, it's irrelevant, and it's not applicable." That's it. Checkmate. What else? What else could you say? You know what I'm saying? That's permanent damage. A lot of people look at it and be like, "He right, man. Why am I watching this way back about ancient move?" You know what I'm saying? I'm right. That shit's trash. On the side note, so there's no beef there. It's really trash. I schooled him, and keep FBA and Tariq name my Jamal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Ask your relatives. Ain't you got like a mother and a father and stuff? Go ask them. Ask them about it. Yeah, go ask them about it. What's your name? Boxing 247. Yeah, go ask somebody. Don't you know some people? Go ask them. Go let your relatives and them know you're interested in the Ukrainians. Don't you know people that you could ask about that? You don't know nobody that could help you with the Ukrainian situation if you're trying to find out about it? That's sad. You don't know nobody to help tell you whole thing. You don't know nobody to give you no information on Ukrainians. Yeah, whatever you say, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you say. Anyway, don't watch me. Watch TV. Okay, get a real name too. Yeah, okay. Get a real name. Black Africa. You're not Black Africa. You're like Kenny Smith or something like that. Okay. Anyway, you have a good life. Listen, man, don't pay them no attention, man. They don't know where I'm at. They're just guessing. I don't reveal no locations, nothing what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Well, go tell it to somebody that cares, right? That's not what the conversation is about. But go tell Trump. I don't got no control over that. Yeah, go tell Trump. As far as Trump getting rid of the Ukrainians, that don't make no sense. Trump is white, and it don't make no sense for you to be upset that white people are gonna stick together with white people. Trump is white, and he doing what a white person's supposed to do. He looking out for white people. That's what he's supposed to do. So I'm confused. Why you confused? That doesn't bother me that Trump is looking out for Europeans and trying to make sure Europeans are strong. He's a European. Their population is decreasing. You need Ukrainians over here. They got to get their birth rate up. The European birth rate in America, they got more deaths than births. So they got to do something. I mean, if you want to know the real political answer, or you wanted the emotional black answer, I don't do that. See, one thing is, I don't come down on white people for doing what black people supposed to be doing. And see, white people doing white people supposed to be doing. Hispanic people doing what Hispanic people supposed to be doing. Asian people doing what Asian people supposed to be doing. It's black people ain't doing what black people supposed to be doing. What you think about that boxing 247? What you think about that? It's black people that ain't doing what black people supposed to be doing. Most of us don't care about the shade of other person's skins. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what that got to do with the conversation. DC, and you saying that in reference to what? So back to boxing. So they definitely have to bleed, and then being a European is not a color. Is definitely a lineage. DC. European is not a color. European is a color, and Europeans is basically white. Now you do have some blacks that live in Europe that you could identify as European, but racially they wouldn't be Europeans. They're Caucasians. So Caucasians are going to look out for Caucasians, uh, and that's why he's bringing them over here. So DC, why you think he's bringing over Ukrainians and South Africans? You don't think he's doing that for the reasons of color? Yes or no, DC? If I give you the time to respond to you, then be stand up and respond. Do you think that Trump is bringing over white South African and Ukrainians to help whites? Yes or no? It's real simple. And in terms of categories, DC, you are considered non-white in the real world. That would be your category. In like in the real world, I don't know. In the philosophical world, I don't know. I don't know. So this is what this was all about right here. So on June 27, 2025, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced the termination of temporary protected status for Haiti, stripping Haitians nationals in the United States of legal protection and work authorization. This deeply troubling decision puts more than 500,000 Haitian community members at risk of deportation to a country in the midst of a humanitarian crisis plagued by armed conflict, mass displacement, and systemic collapse. So they've taken away uh, their status to be here in the country, and they're going to deport a bunch of Haitians back to Haiti. Now, because of that story, that's not what I'm talking about. Because of that story, a brother on Instagram went live and told foundational Black Americans that we need to stand up for Haitians and we shouldn't do what we do. We want to mind our own business. But he's saying that once they throw the Haitians out, then they're going to come back after us. So he's basically saying we should stand up for the Haitians. And that's why I got the problem, because it's always about us standing up for other Blacks when they get in trouble. It ain't never about them standing up for us for absolutely nothing. Blacks come to this country to compete against us. Us as foundational Black Americans, we've been in this country forced to compete against white Americans. That's who we're competing against. And other blacks from the Caribbean, from Africa, from Haiti, from South and Central America, they come and they don't join us to compete against white Americans. They compete against us. So if there's this big piece of the pie, if this is what white Americans got and this is what we got, other blacks won't come help move this yellow up. They'll come and try to take half of this yellow part. And they'll leave white America with all of this. They won't come and compete with them. They come and compete with us. They don't come and lock in with us. Listen, we're not locked in with Haitians. Haitians did not come to this country and lock in with their brothers and sisters. Africans do not come to this country and lock in with us. They don't. And now they done effed around and found out. They thought it was sweet. All the blacks, they never listened to us. We could have told you. We could have told you. But they come to us like, oh, y'all keep crying about racism. You just don't work hard. This is what the Africans be. You just don't work hard. You can cry about racism, they're going to kick them all out. When they kick them all out, now it's going to be racism. Now it's going to be, well, they let the Ukrainians in, and they let, like the brother trying to check me about the Ukrainians, but he ain't going to check the blacks for coming in and disrespecting black Americans and don't mess with black Americans. He ain't got nothing to say about that. The brother ain't got nothing to say about the fact that the white Ukrainians going to come in and the white American citizens going to take them right in, and the white Ukrainians going to link right in with the white Americans. Believe that. They're going to go to their concerts. They're going to go to their events. They're going to talk. They're going to do their culture. They're going to become white Americans. The blacks that come in, do they link in with us? Do they talk our talk? No. No, they don't. I speak for Foundational Black Americans. We have zero relationship with Haitians. Whose fault is that? That's not our fault. They came into a country, they were supposed to reach out to their brothers and sisters. If I go to Haiti, can I go to Haiti and be snobby? And thumb my nose up at the Haitians and work with the governments and do better than them over there? Can I do that? Think about it. So it's like this brother comes and he's saying, we need to stand up and we need to fight for the Haitians. And he's saying that after they get rid of Haitians, they're going to come after us. Brother, getting rid of the other black people benefit us because they just taking food off our table. They're not taking food off of none of these Asians' tables, none of these Hispanics' tables, and none of these white tables. Blacks that come to this country only taking food out of black people's mouth because they ain't got the strength to go at the system like we do. They come and try to move us out the way. They come and brag about how they doing better than us. Even if you look at black women around the world, outside the United States, black women in the Caribbean, Africa, all over the world are emulating black American women who are emulating white women. I'm going to repeat that. Black women all over Africa, all over South America, all over the Caribbean are impersonating foundational Black American women who are impersonating European women. They doing their hair like our sisters do their hair. They doing their nails like our sisters doing their nails. Everything Black women doing in Africa and in the Caribbean, they got it from us. They got it from Black American women. All them hairstyles, because Black American women do not wear the exact same hairstyle like white women. They don't wear the same hairstyles. It's a little different. The coloring and all that Black American women do is unique. And you can go all over Africa. I've seen a sister in Jamaica talking crazy Black Americans with her hair, and her whole swag was a foundational Black American woman. Her whole swag. Her whole conversation, her nails and everything, she was copying our women to the T, talking about she's Jamaican. Even to the point where she lost her accent. She wasn't even using her accent. She wasn't even using her accent. You go look at them women in Africa. They copying us. They copying us. Go look at them women in Africa. Go look at them women in the Caribbean. They copying us. And so now for this brother, I tried to find him so I could talk crazy to him on his Instagram post. He telling us that we need to stand up for some Haitians that we don't even know, that never bonded with us, and that never did nothing for us when they came to this country. They ain't come to this country and help us do a damn thing. We haven't had no Blacks on nothing except the old school Jamaicans that was really practicing Pan-Africanism. They had love. But by the time you got to the mid-'80s and late 80s, them fake Jamaicans started pretending they was Rastas, and they didn't have no love for us. Them Jamaicans that came up here in the late 80s and the 90s and stuff, they was all fraudulent. Much respect, Drew. They was all fraudulent. They ain't had no love for us. They was just doing reggae to make money. They wasn't really no Pan-Africans. They wasn't no Black unity. They was just Jamaican reggae. And they started calling us Yankees and everything. They started calling us Yankees and everything. I used to be at the dance hall clubs and all of that. You know? They didn't have no respect for us like that. They ain't had no respect for us. And so I can't believe this man is trying to act like we supposed to stand up for Haitians. Based on what? Based on what type of... I'm confused. And what I'm saying about the Jamaicans is absolutely true. That's why I used to be in the dance hall clubs looking like this. I wanted smoke. That's why you see my attitude. I wish a Jamaican would have played with me up in there. That's what I was on. I was like, listen, you're a Jamaican, but this Chicago. And I can get on the phone. I can call some of the guys. They come up here. Your numbers is small. Don't come up here to Chicago playing like that. I was more on the hustler side on this. I was more on some gangster hustler type stuff. I wasn't militant at this point. This was after I got back from California and Hawaii. with one of my queens. But I'm just showing you the reason my attitude was like that, because they were trying to be rude boy and try to, in Chicago, bro, that don't work. What, bro? This Chicago. That ain't gonna work here. Now you can come and do your little thing. You can come in and do your little thing, but you can't come pop off in the rack like that. You don't got no wins up here like that. Where you think you at? You surrounded up here. And so this brother talking about we need to stand with the Haitians when they try to deport them. And I'm like, no, we don't. We need to mind our own business. The fact of the matter is, deporting black immigrants benefit us because black immigrants came and ate off our plate. Nobody want to tell the truth because it ain't, the truth ain't positive. So this don't sound positive, right? In an effort to be positive all the time, we be lying. The fact of the matter is that brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, Haiti, Africa, they didn't benefit us. They hurt us. They hurt us. They didn't help us none. They came and took our jobs. They didn't come and benefit us none. You understand? They didn't come and benefit us. You say you don't care what color they are. If they're immigrants, they need to go because all of them are taken away from us. No, the only ones taken away from us is the black ones. Them the only ones. Ukrainians ain't taking nothing from me. Them other immigrants ain't taking nothing from us. You're doing more damage with that Native American split than anything, rather than just being the foundation of Black America. You ain't helping nobody. You represent division. You can't just ride with the team and get reparations. You want to be Pocahontas or something. So you need to shut up anyway, because you don't represent nothing but division. And we ain't going to never be no Native Americans, and we ain't never finna follow none of that nonsense you talking. So you need to be quiet because you don't represent no type of unity. Because you see, we push for reparations, and instead of you just stand down and be like, okay, FBA reparation, now you Pocahontas and you sitting bull. Anything other than to ride with the movement. You the one came over here. I'm going by what you came over here saying. Ain't no picture. Bro, I pay attention. Remember the video I told you when you listen real well? That man didn't come over here talking about no Native American like he was something different. He ain't come over here on no FBA stuff, bro. Stop playing with me. You did not appear to be FBA. Okay? Haitians gave you free citizenship. Well, when you gonna move over there? Because you in the way over here. Boxing 247. Bye. Because Haitians ain't did nothing for me. What year you was born? I was born 1958. You look like a little boy. I was born in 1958. What are you talking about? So Haitians was here. Haitians was here when my parents came up from Alabama. My parents were born in the 30s. So Haitians was in Alabama helping us in Mississippi? Is that what you trying to tell me? I'm a little confused. So Haitians help us during the civil rights movement? Haitians is the reason you can walk around? Listen, Haitians is the reason you can walk around here? Because I'm the reason you walking around here boxing. To be honest with you, talking to the reason you could come outside. You boxing, this is what let you come outside. These. Without these, you couldn't even come outside. Was you here? Was you going to school in the 70s? Okay, be quiet. Be quiet and listen, bro. Because you wasn't going to school here in the 70s. You wasn't outside in 68. I was 10 years old in 68. You wasn't outside 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. You didn't have to deal with Marquette Park in these areas. You don't have to deal with these. You don't know nothing about fight or flight and all that. You don't know about them having to leave out the community and stuff when we moved in. You didn't know what we went through, bro. There wasn't no Jamaicans or Africans or nobody here. None of them people came over here until the 70s when we got free. And after we did all that fighting, and after we did all that marching, and after we got water hosed and all that, and Malcolm was gone and Martin was gone, and we made some moves, that's when all them blacks came over here, after the smoke. That's when all them people started coming up here. The Jamaicans didn't come up here till the 70s after the smoke. The Africans didn't come here 70s, 80s, 90s after the smoke. The Haitians, they waited till the coast was clear. Louisiana culture came from Haiti because the slaves came from Haiti, not because no Haitians brought it up there. It's because the slaves came up there. Because DuSable that found Chicago was a Haitian. He was a Haitian. His mother was an African woman. His daddy was a white Frenchman. The white Frenchman got the African lady pregnant, had DuSable, took him to France. When he got grown, he sailed up to Mississippi, married a Native American woman, came across, and found this spot, Chicago, which was a trading spot, and basically founded Chicago, Illinois. But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got nothing to do what he did in the 1700s and 1800s. Ain't got nothing to do with what black people went through in the 1900s and all the stuff we went through in slavery and everything we went through down south. That ain't got nothing to do with that. So for y'all to go try to take some ancient history and think that got something to do with foundational Black Americans, it don't. That ain't got nothing to do with how much cotton we picked and how many times we've been whipped up in this country. Wasn't no Haitians here. When my granddad and grandmama come from Alabama. What is you talking about? I was going to Alabama as a little boy. We was going to Alabama and Mississippi. And there wasn't no Africans, and there wasn't no Jamaicans, or no Haitians, or no nobody. Much respect, Quayla. Wasn't no nobody. Wasn't nobody. Wasn't nothing. Wasn't nobody but us. And when I went to school, my parents took me out of public school and sent me to Lutheran school. In the 7th grade, I went to school. It was me, some other black kids that had been there for a while, me out of public school, a bunch of white dudes that's in the 8th grade, 7th grade, and these. It was me and the guys. Wasn't no Haitian, ain't never helped me fight, wasn't never with me riding my bike, never was with me, wasn't no African or nobody fought my battles. I fought their battles, and then after we fought their battles, then they came. They came after we fought the battles. Don't ever get it twisted in your life. Don't get it twisted. Man, don't get that all twisted. Y'all, let's tell this history correctly. Okay? Let's tell the history correctly. You know, we did this all on our own. Ain't nobody helped us do nothing. Okay? Ain't nobody stopped us from doing nothing. Listen, boxing 24/7. You know what you over here for? You over here to listen and learn. You ain't over here to teach, right? So make your mind up. You want to listen and learn? You want to hear what I got to say or not? It's real simple, bro. You're not over here to teach nothing. If you want to teach, go get you a page and teach. But if you come over here on my channel, you humble yourself and you listen. Because you can't tell me nothing, bro. And that's not what you over here for. So let me know right now, because if you don't want to listen, I could get you out of here. As a matter of fact, come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, bro. Come back tomorrow. Y'all don't argue with him. He ain't over here to learn, and he don't know nothing. Okay? He not over here to learn. Don't waste no time talking to him. Brothers like that can't teach nothing, ain't standing on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste your time arguing with him. Because he ain't standing on nothing. That's what you call a troll. Because if he's standing on something, he ain't going to come watch somebody. If I don't know what I'm talking about, then don't watch me, watch TV. Don't watch me then. The fact of the matter is, this is how this all went. And there was nobody else here. We didn't have no help. The help came after the fact of the matter. It is what it is. The help came afterwards. Everybody came and they wasn't even help. They was leeches. See? You see? This is when black people boycotted the buses in Alabama, where my mother and father's from. This is the brothers picking up the sisters, taking the sisters to work so they wouldn't get on the bus. And you can see the bus across the street empty, where black people got tired of being mistreated. Not a Haitian in sight. We had the one brother, Stokely Carmichael, he was from Trinidad. But I'm saying it ain't like no Trinidadians did nothing. Our brothers and sisters here, we've made it so that all these blacks can come out here and walk around. And when a black person come here from another country and they get on a city bus, do they ever think about how they can get on the bus and why they can get on that bus? Do they ever think about the reason they can just get on the bus? When you come here from Jamaica, when you come here from Trinidad, when you come here from Haiti, do you ever think about why you can get on a bus? Does that ever cross your mind? No. You don't know that black people walked to work before they got on the bus. You're 1,000,000,000% right. We need to stay out of ICE way. ICE is looking for people that ain't Americans. Let them get them. We should not be standing up for nobody that ain't never stood up for us. This idea that we be standing up for people that never stand up for us is ridiculous. Okay? We not standing up for nobody, not standing up for us. When you come to this country, it was your responsibility to lock in with your brothers and sisters. If you didn't lock in with them, fine. You didn't lock in. You didn't feel like you had to lock in. All right, we don't feel like we got to lock in. It just keep it the same way. That's foolishness anyway. I cannot go to Jamaica and not lock in with the Jamaicans. Only people gonna say that is for us. You know damn well you can't go to Ghana and not lock in with the Ghanaians. You can't go to Ghana and be separated from the Ghanaians. You gotta lock in. You can't move to Ethiopia and not lock in with the Ethiopians. You can't move to Jamaica and not lock in with the Jamaicans and be a separate group in Jamaica. But they come up here and do it. They come to the United States, they don't lock in. They didn't come in the 60s. They came in the 70s. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? They didn't come in the 60s. They came in the 70s. All the Jamaicans I know and all the Africans came in the 70s. Why y'all don't listen? They came in the 70s. I graduated high school in 1976. I worked for W.F. Hall Printing Company, and the Africans was working there. They got there in the 70s. They did not come in the 60s. Black immigrants came in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Not in the 60s. And if you want to argue with me, tell your birth. I was born 1958. When you was born? I was born 1958. Well, no Africans nowhere until the 70s. They'll tell you that. All the Jamaicans came in the 70s. Go watch my interviews with the Rastas. I just interviewed Sadi Wadada, one of the older Rastas here. His mom and them bought him in the 70s. All my Rasta brethren, they all got here in the 70s. All my African friends, they all got here in the 70s. Okay? These are facts. These are facts. What a lot of Black Americans don't understand is sometimes you have a living history right in front of your face and you don't want to listen. I'm not average. I'm the youngest one here probably. There's Dennis Brown. There goes Job Bunny right there. I've been around the culture straight up from a baby. I know this stuff like the back of my hand. I am intricately in tune with the culture. I live this. This ain't nobody read no book. This ain't nobody watched no documentary. This me. The one in the front, he from the Virgin Islands. All of them came in the 70s and in the 80s. That's me in the back. So you don't want to listen. Is that what you saying? Because you're not over here to teach, dear Nadia. Don't teach over here. Get you a page and teach, sweetheart. If you're a female, get you a page and teach, okay? Do like Big Pharaoh doing. Don't come over here leeching on me in my classroom. Okay? Don't come over here leeching. Get you a page if you got knowledge. Get you a page and kick your knowledge. I don't know why some of y'all won't get your account and kick your knowledge. Why y'all be leeching off y'all brothers and sisters like bloodsuckers? Like, dang, man, like a mosquito. You understand? I'm telling y'all the facts. All them people came in the 70s. These are my brethren. There I go right there as a shorty. Look at my locks way back then. You understand? My mother and father from Alabama. Nobody cared about us. Nobody did nothing for us. We was on our own. We didn't have nobody but the Black Panthers and Martin Luther King and Malcolm and the Nation of Islam and stuff like that. That's all we had. We didn't have no outside anything. As a matter of fact, not only that, we was the ones that put apartheid on the map. We was the ones stood up for the Africans. Africans didn't stand up for us. We were the ones that put apartheid on the map. That's an absolute fact. That's a fact. We helped the Africans. The Africans ain't never helped us. That is a fact. That's an absolute fact. We was the ones that put Winnie Mandela and Nelson Mandela on the map. That is an absolute fact. We stood up for Africa. Africa never stood up for us. That is an absolute fact. Because we didn't like apartheid because it reminded us of Jim Crow. It's a fact. As soon as Mandela got out, he came to New York immediately. Could you say that the Biafran fight for independence? No. No, ain't had nothing to do with it. Reparations is something that black people have been fighting for all since slavery, and black people had got reparations. And then when Lincoln gave us reparations, they shot him and they took it back. Black folks had 40 acres and a mule. Y'all got to go study. They had already begun dispensing the reparations. They had already begun dispensing it. That's why they unalived Lincoln. And then they took all that back. Reparations was already awarded to us. FBA was born, the term Foundational Black Americans was born out of the idea of ADOS, and a lot of us didn't want to be called American descendants of slavery. I know how Tariq think. And I know when Tariq heard American descendants of slavery, he like, I ain't no descendant of slave. So I know he went and said, man, we got to call ourselves something else. So we came up with Foundational Black American, which is a better term. We're not descendants of slaves. We victims of slavery, but we ain't no descendants of no slaves. So that's why we came for that. You know, Tariq, that's why a lot of us switched over, because we was identifying the adults, but I just never liked the title. American descendant of slave. I ain't no descendant of slave. We went through slavery, but we not slaves. We not slaves. Slavery was something somebody forced on you. That's not nothing you are. That's somebody forcing on you. You ain't no slave. So foundational Black American is a better title. That's why Tariq Nasheed going down in history. That's why I dog walk SETI, because he need to keep Tariq's name out his mouth, because Tariq did more for us than he did. Facts. He could say whatever he want. He could say turn it till he turn blue in the face. Pan-Africanism is whack because Africa ain't Pan-African. So we don't care nothing about no Pan-African or nothing about Africa. There's no way no 50 million Black Americans going to worry about no billion Africans. The billion Africans need to stand up and do what they got to do, then holler at us when they get their shit together. What it look like 50 million trying to help a billion. That's backwards. So anything about Africa got to come out of Africa and call us when it happened. In the meantime, how we going to survive here worrying about Africa? So I know SETI mad. He a Pan-African, but he on YouTube. Then YouTube ain't Pan-African. So he just talking. Because everything he doing is based on foundational Black Americans. Because my grandmom and them built Detroit. He a little boy. Detroit was built on Black people that work for the auto industry. You think I'm lying? Go watch BMF and it show you they daddy worked for what? The auto industry. And the work of Black people built Detroit. Not Africa. Not Kemet. Egypt ain't got nothing to do with none of that. And neither do YouTube. So that's why I trash SETI, because all that stuff he talking is trash. And he should have never spoke on FBA and reparations and compare that to Pan-Africanism, because Pan-Africanism is garbage. And he's garbage for dealing with it. Because he had plenty enough time to pan his ass to Africa then. If Pan-Africanism is so great, why Pan-Africans won't go to Africa? Bye, because you in the way. So I soon said, he told him, Pharaoh said he in the way. Yeah, he in the way. He need to be in Africa. On my soul. Because we standing on what we trying to get right here. The United States has ended temporary protective status for the Haitians, potentially making hundreds of thousands subject to deportation. Despite an ongoing humanitarian crisis in Haiti marked by violence and displacement, the Department of Homeland Security claims conditions have improved enough to return, but the U.S. State Department maintains a do not travel advisory for Haiti due to safety risk. A federal judge temporarily blocked the termination to allow for proper notice, but legal uncertainty remains and the situation is precarious for those with the TPS. The thing is, man, Haitians got to go fix their own thing. That's on them. If Haitians down there fighting Haitians, then they go fix your own problem. But as far as coming up here taking food out of our mouth and coming up here don't link up with us, it don't make no sense for you to want somebody to stand up for you when you get in trouble. So you come up here from Haitian, you don't link in with foundational Black Americans at all. Then when they want to throw you out, now you my friend. Where they do that at in real life? Where they do that in real life, you ignore people until you get in trouble. Then when you get in trouble, now what you want me to do? What you want me to do? Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, Nadia. Yeah, come back tomorrow. This conversation ain't doing you no good. Come back tomorrow. I get it. You ain't learning nothing. Bye. Anybody up here ain't learning nothing, log off. It's real simple. You don't understand? If you don't understand the words out of my mouth, log off. You want to hear some fake black international stuff, world stuff? Go listen to Sadie, goofy ass. And listen to that nonsense he be talking. If you want to hear that, go listen to him. And that whack stuff he been preaching for 20 years. That ain't going nowhere. Teeter and tottering from that back to FBA because it's the hot subject now. How phony can you get? You don't even want to talk about that, but you ain't got no choice because that's what Black's standing on. So he frustrated. I don't want to give them both barrels to tell you what's really going on with him, but what's really going on, he frustrated because Black Foundation, Black Americans don't give a damn about all that nonsense he talking about Pan-Africanism. So he mad. Him and Umar and all of them. That's why they don't be standing up for reparations, and that's why they scared of reparations. Because they know if we get reparations, we're going to buckle down even more. We're going to buy even more stuff. We're going to even arm ourselves more. We're going to get more housing, and we're going to develop ourselves. And they don't want that. They want us to dream about going back to Africa when many of us ain't pure Africans any damn way. We ain't no pure Africans. We got African blood, but we ain't no pure Africans. Don't nobody want this smoke. We ain't no pure Africans. Anyway, said he ain't no damn pure African. This my great grandmother on my mother's side. She's Sioux. My father's side is African. Her husband, my great grandmother, her husband was African bloodline. She was Sioux and African and white. She lived 117 years. I used to be down there at her farm, down there on her land. My grandfather was here and his mother was there. So she was right up the road from my granddaddy, my great grandmother. I used to go stay with him. Then we go stay with her 3 or 4 days, then go back and stay with him, then go stay with her 3 or 4 days, and then go and visit my father's people in Decatur and my mother's people in Birmingham. So we went to Uniontown, Decatur, and Birmingham. I bring my this is my great grandmother. I bring my great grandmother up to teach people their history. So I bring my great grandmother up anytime the conversation fits. There were Jamaicans, there was Haitians, there was different people that was here, right? So there was Jamaicans and different people here. But the thing with America is this: when you start talking about Miami, California, New York, you're talking about immigrant territory. But when you start talking Chicago, Detroit, in the center of the country, ain't none of them here. So when you start talking about the heartland of America, you ain't gonna have all them immigrants. Of course, you're gonna have immigrants if you're on the coast where the water's at. You understand? So when you go to the coast where the water's at and the boats was coming in, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand that everybody's an immigrant, right? White people is immigrants, right? You understand what I'm saying? White Americans is immigrants. They from Europe. So we using modern vernacular based on now. We're not using the term immigrant based on the 18 and 1700s. We're using foundational Black American and American citizens based on the people that was here from 1776 that fought the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraq. That's what make us Americans. From the blood in the soil. Okay? It's from the blood in the soil make us Americans. What else am I but a foundational Black American? What else can I be? That's all I can be. I'm born here in 1958. This my daddy's daddy. This what we are. This my daddy's daddy. This my mama's mama. I got to get some pictures of my mama's daddy. What else can we be? We fought. You know what I'm saying? Like here in Chicago. Here in Chicago, I fought for you to walk around here. How you think you walking around here? This my father's family. Hold on. Once you fight for something, then it's yours. I got blood in the ground. This is my family on my father's side. It's my great grandparents. Then that's my grandfather on the left, and that's my grandmother on the left on my father's side. And then this is my father and all his brothers. That's my daddy, the youngest ones right there. Randolph. That's his three sisters. My daddy was the youngest of 13. There's my mother, my father, and my sister. I'm not in the picture. I'm probably in Hawaii or California. The second picture from the top with the three people. I'm out there, doing what I'm doing, the great explorer. I'm in the middle of the South Pacific. Here go my father and all his siblings. So this what it is. This our culture. That's who we are. I don't trace back to no Africa like that. That's not realistic. I don't know nobody in Africa. Who I know in Africa? What I know about Africa? You represent where you got blood in the soil. That's why you love your city where you at, because you work every day, blood, sweat, and tears in your city. If you're in St. Louis, you love St. Louis. You born and raised in St. Louis, and you represent St. Louis. You don't represent no Africa. You represent St. Louis. And we did all of this, and nobody helped us. Nobody never stepped in to help us. Look, man, I'm 67. I am not no baby. I was born in 1958. Ain't no black people ever helped us. Show me one article where an African president sent us anything. Show me any article where a leader of a Caribbean country or a leader of an African country sent foundational black Americans a nickel, a piece of bubble gum. Show me where Africans shipped us anything. Show me where any African came to the United States and met with a president and said, I want to send black Americans something. Show it to me. Show me where one African leader came to the United States and said, the only African I know that ever gave black people anything was Emperor Haile Selassie I, the first job, Rastafari, put money in the bank that's still in the bank right now. Sun Ra said that money's still in the bank. That the banks in Europe got trillions of dollars for us in the bank. But everything we did it on our own. And it ain't never been not one group of immigrants came and locked in with us. None. Not the Jamaicans, not the Haitians, not no Africans ever locked in with us. None of them. Nelson Mandela was a rat and a sellout. Winnie Mandela was the rider, was the revolutionary. Nelson got out. When they seen, they locked Nelson up. When they locked Nelson up, Winnie started pushing her movement. And Winnie movement got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And Winnie movement was spreading all over the whole South Africa. And when Winnie movement got too big, the white establishment panicked and said, we got to stop her. So they let her rat husband out. Facts, I was there. They let her rat husband out to stop Winnie. And he got out there and punked out. This is facts. These is facts. Let her punk husband out, and he got out and he punked out. And you know I know, because I'm the general, okay? This happened a couple years after this picture. What I look like? Well, I look like I was playing. I've been standing on business. Look how I'm dressed. Look at me. What I was representing. I did. You see what I was representing, so I knew all of this. I was studying. I was watching all of this. I don't look like I was watching Africa closely. I remember when Nelson came over here at the parade in New York and sold out. Nelson is a rat. And look at South Africa today. He gave it right back. He got out talking about, well, because Winnie was trying to chase the Europeans out. Nelson got out. Well, the white farmers could keep their land. And look at South Africa today. And then Winnie stayed with him 28 years. And when he got out, what did he do? He dumped her. Winnie stayed with him 28 years in prison. His wife stood by him, fought for him, got his name all over the world. The only reason we know about Nelson is because of Winnie. Without Winnie, nobody would know no damn Nelson Mandela. Winnie Mandela, the one that told us about Nelson. And when his punk ass got out, he divorced her. He divorced her. And Ross, you know, when nobody talking about Chris, you know all the reggae songs was what? Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela. It was at least 20 reggae songs about Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela was it. Anybody was outside know Winnie was that, okay? Anybody was outside know Winnie was the leader of the whole Africa. Because Idi Amin had to run and all of that. Everybody know Winnie Mandela was the leader of the entire Africa. I'm giving y'all the real history from somebody that was there. If I don't give you the history, you ain't gonna know. This was the boss. That's why she and my top leaders are the top great leaders. She at the top. She like, I think I got her like number 1 or number 2. Oh yeah, she wasn't nothing nice. Y'all want to study a black woman, this the one y'all need to study right here. She took over when they locked her husband up. She took over, and she the one created everything they doing now. She did it. And then when he got out, they did her dirty. They did her so dirty in South Africa, including that dude down there that's always running his mouth. Y'all know what I'm talking about. With the red and black and the red on. He did her dirty too. All he was trying to do was sleep with her to take her power. I can't stand his ass. He always running his mouth and don't nothing happen. He's a rat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Down there in South Africa running his mouth. He's a rat. That's how he got power. He snaked Winnie. Yeah, him. He snaked Winnie. That's how he got power. Go back and look. Malema snaked Winnie. And came in behind Nelson. Then Nelson fell. Boom. Yeah, Malema. He snaked Winnie. Nelson snaked her, kicked her to the curb. He come in as the backup. Yeah, Julius Malema's a rat. He just there as a front to make it look like it's some revolutionaries that never get in power. So it won't be no real revolutionary. He's a fake revolutionary controlled by the Russians. The Russians control him. He's a puppet. He's Putin's little boy. Yeah, Julius Malema, that's Putin's little boy. Putin control all y'all little revolutionaries. The other dude in Burkina too. He's all of them. Yeah. Yeah, Julius Malema is Putin's little boy. When you see him with all that red on, that's the Communist Party. That's the Communist Party. The same ones that came in and took over after Haile Selassie and unalived 2-3 million Ethiopians. Y'all know Mengistu. And where did Mengistu run to? He ran down there to the country that's right there next to South Africa, Zimbabwe. The man that unalived all his people in Ethiopia, he's still in Zimbabwe right now. Ethiopia keeps saying extradite him so they could charge him for treason and for genocide. He went down there with that other loser that ran Zimbabwe, Mugabe, another rat. Don't nobody want none of you. Y'all definitely don't want none of this revolutionary smoke over here. Sarah soon said he ain't told y'all none of that. He a little boy. You need to stay on little boy place. He need to stay. He's a little boy. He not big Pharaoh. He little Sarah. He need to stay in his place. The big man talking right now. You was a little boy. I was doing this. You was still watching Sesame Street, punk. Stay in your place, hollering and screaming, and ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, light-skinned brothers be trying to be blacker than everybody. Shots fired. A lot of times these light-skinned revolutionaries, they be over whooping. You know. A lot of times these light-skinned revolutionaries, you know, the lack of that melanin, so they be trying to be blacker than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just a little straight shot. Bob, stop playing me. If I in you, finish him. I ain't gonna do him like that because that's my brother. He's still like my brother, so I ain't gonna really stomp him out. I could. Like, man, everybody know I do 10 videos on you. Yeah, he a little boy. When I was outside like that, he's a little boy. He not that. He not that. He a little boy. He needs to stay in a little boy place. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Shit, man. I don't even think he was born. I don't even think he was born then. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think he was born. Y'all think he was born right here when I was? No, I don't even think he was born. You know what I'm saying? If so, he was like riding his tricycle or something, eating cookies and milk or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He a little boy. He need to stay in a little boy place. He don't know about this big revolutionary stuff. Yeah, them dudes right there be just, man, don't even get me started on that. You know what I'm saying? That's one reason we pushing for foundational Black Americans. We push for reparations because we've been blocked so much with all these fake religions and all these fake Black power stuff that ain't never really went nowhere. Tying up our people that do got a strong mind, because what they do is these ideologies come and the brothers that's got the strong mind, they suck them out the community. So now, once you get sucked out the community, you run around worrying about Africa. You run around talking Black power stuff, but the Arabs get all the gas stations. You run around talking about Islam, right? You run around talking all this stuff, having Savior's Day and all this stuff. But then when you look up, some Islamic Arabs got all the gas stations in the Black community. Wait a minute. You the Nation of Islam, you Black. You in the Black community, you in Chicago, you Black. You the Black Muslims. Why you let the Arab Muslims get the gas station in the Black community? This is what all these people then did. Look, you know why don't nobody know me? I'm going to tell y'all something nobody know. I had to go underground. Even now, I'm not saying everything you see. I'm letting a little bit out. That's why I said I would never debate SETI, because I got to say too much. All I'm going to do is get unalived. See what I mean? I had to go underground because everything was sold out. And when everything was sold out and everything was compromised, they started looking for leaders to wipe out. So I went underground. And when I came on social media, I'm doing what I call drunken monkey style. You got to listen close because I'm not really telling you everything straight out. You got to put it together. I'm talking in code. Because they ain't already compromised everybody. Said it, they already conquered him. He's already a nobody. I'm still hot because I never really put myself out there. He was a nobody because he locked in with young Pharaoh and ruined himself. His reputation shot. He young Pharaoh's boy. He ain't no OG running around with that little boy like that. And then keep that little boy in his face. How you gonna, man, listen, don't be talking to big Pharaoh. Go straighten out your man's little Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? You little Pharaoh's friend. Stop talking to big Pharaoh. You know, if I do both of y'all dirty at the same, I'll debate both of them at the same time. Frick and frack. Come on, man. Y'all ain't on this kind of level like that. Y'all little boys, y'all ain't got no living history. Don't know history beat living history. There ain't no book beat living history. Facts. Ain't no book beat being here, watching them put Soul Brother and Soul Sister on the windows so you wouldn't get your windows busted during the riots. I was here during the riots. It wasn't no joke. I'm an original Black Power baby. Think about it. I'm born in 1958. 1968, I'm 10 years old. What's going on in 1968? Exactly. I ain't got to read about it. I was there. And so foundational Black Americans is something that's really great that we got to focus on ourselves. Listen, the brother was saying, the reason I'm talking about this, the brother was saying that when they throw the Haitians out, they going to come back and throw us out. But the fact is they can't throw us out because we foundational Black Americans. And Trump recognized us as Americans. Okay? Trump do not recognize us as nothing foreign. He recognizes us as Americans. Now, he might still be pushing a racist agenda, but all white Americans recognize Black Americans as Americans. This is a fact. There's no plan to deport us. That's nonsense. Not only is it not a plan to deport us, there's not the military capability to deport us. We guerrillas. We fought in all the wars. We saved America's ass how many times? They don't got, ICE ain't no match for foundational Black Americans, and they know it. Look, remember everybody? ICE coming to Chicago. ICE coming to Chicago. Okay, they came to Chicago. And what? And have I came on here panicking? Did I come on here what are they doing in the Black community? Nothing. They're not even in the Black community. They'll only go in the Black community if it's some illegal immigrants in the Black community. They're not in our neighborhood doing nothing. Facts. They not in the Black community. When you see Black people talking to them, that's Black people not minding their own business because they there getting Hispanics. They there getting Venezuelans. And then Black people running their mouth. They're not even looking for you. Then the brother talking about, well, when they get the Haitians, they're going to grab some of us like the Haitians. No, they not. They're not. No, they not. They don't got enough they don't got enough weapons for us. Y'all tripping. ICE can't beat the Blackstones. Shit. They can't even handle one gang in Chicago. Y'all get the hell out of here. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. Whatever. They say, well, they taking Black people down. Hey, man, they say, so Pharaoh, if they grab you and take you down, would you be mad? No, they hustling. I'll just be quiet, let them take me down there. They're going to take me to the thing. They're going to write my name down. They're going to let me go, and they're going to get paid for it. They just hustling. They scamming the system. It's head counts. So if they bring so many head counts in, they get so much money. So they just grabbing anybody, but they're not finna deport you. They're just gonna grab you. They're gonna take you over here. They're gonna mark down, we grab this many people, and they're gonna let you go. They letting everybody go that ain't that. They ain't after us. And these people want us to get involved with their war that they never gave a damn about us. The Hispanic community, they never locked in with us. The Hispanic community is the biggest rats, the biggest traitors. The Hispanic community is the biggest traitors. This is Big Pharaoh. This ain't Little Pharaoh. I was here. And when you get to the 80s and you get to Bush and Reagan and all them, they wanted to shut that border completely. They didn't want to let no Hispanics across. Black Americans started talking this people of color shit. And Black Americans stood up for the Hispanics. The Hispanics was talking this black and brown love stuff. So they started letting them coming in. They started coming in. At that time, I moved to LA. I'm in Compton. They started coming in. Then they start attacking blacks in Compton. Because the guy that lived next to me in Roscoe, they cut him from his ankle all the way up to here. And he was in the thing at a park in Compton. And that's when I first got to Compton. It's like 1982. They was going to war. Right? So you had certain Mexicans that was cool, but then you had this new group of Mexicans that was coming to take over. And y'all know about them firebombing the black woman's house and her kids, and they took Compton from the blacks. Remember, they went to war and they attacked the blacks and firebombed them and did everything and took it from them. Right? Right? Took it from them. So when they took it from them, now everybody see that the Hispanics, there was no black and brown love. Never was. I'm talking about way back then, FBA. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about in the 80s. Stay with me. In the 80s, they didn't represent as white. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They came in as brown. Listen, bruh. Listen, let me delete. Some people talk too much and don't listen. They came in on black and brown love. They did not identify as white until they got powerful enough. They did not identify as white. They came in black and brown love. That's how they came in. This is in the 80s. What year you was born? FBA? What year? How old are you? Some of y'all need to really be quiet over here. Y'all be ruining my conversation. Like, just be quiet. You came over here to listen. You ain't come over here to teach. Don't come over here trying to teach. You know what I'm saying? Don't be coming over here trying to teach. Go teach on your own page if you know something. Because you might be 80, but you probably wasn't outside like that. You might have been a lame. I don't know you. What that mean? You might be my age, but you not him. You was a lame when he was out there. You understand? Let me talk to these people and be quiet. Stop being rude, talking on top of another brother. And if you really standing on something, go do like Big Pharaoh do and go log into your account and then do it like a G. They came in under black and brown love. So all of them, when they got in trouble, they played minority. The Asians too. Anytime they wanted to get somewhere, right? They played the minority card. People of color, they used to call it. Right? This is why Jesse Jackson, what he came up with, the Rainbow Coalition. That was all of these funny style people. Right? Jesse Jackson came out, what you thought the Rainbow Coalition was. It was a coalition of Hispanics, brown people, yellow people, and black people, like that. It was all a scam. And as soon as these yellow and brown people got enough position where they didn't need us, they said, no, we ain't, no. We Mexican, Holmes. No, we Korean. No, we Korean. Are you born in LA? Okay, well, stay in LA and teach in LA. Don't come over here trying to teach. Because like I said, I don't care nothing about you being born in LA or none of that. Just don't be talking on top of me. This is the last time I'm going to tell you. Come back in 30 minutes. Don't be trying to teach on top of me. Have some doggone respect, man. You know what I'm saying? What you log in over here for, to talk or to listen? This is a listening channel. This ain't no channel for you to come try to talk on top of me. If you're a black dude in LA, they punch y'all ass. Anyway, so shut up talking to me before I get disrespectful. Yeah, you from LA. They rant over you. Yeah, they rant over you. Talking about he from LA. There ain't nothing to brag about. They took the whole city from you. Man, listen, I was in LA. I got to LA in the early 80s. Came back, was there all the way to the late 80s. Then when you get to like 2000, I got in the music business. I went back to LA. We was staying in Hollywood at some fancy hotel. And I took a limousine down Vermont trying to go get some eggplant sandwiches down there in the hood. The hood was gone. It was Mexicans all the way down Vermont. Because after the Rodney King riots, they displaced the blacks because the blacks tore up their own stuff. So after the Rodney King riots, they didn't build it back for them. They displaced them. Not only did they displace them, they came up with the gang rule where once you was in the gang and they arrested you, if they could prove you in the gang, they can enhance your sentencing. So now they got it where, boom, all you did was steal some out of the store, supposed to get 2 years, but you a gang member, right? So now they can make it 20 years. They came out with the gang enhancement. Yeah. And they took everything from them, put them all in the jails and opened up the border and just let them all run up and take it. Now LA is a hellhole. It ain't no class over there no more. It's dirty, homeless people everywhere. It's straight trash. It's homeless people in Hollywood sleeping on the street, on Hollywood Boulevard. It's homeless people sleeping on the stars. You know the Hollywood stars? Man, it's so nasty. They let them people take the whole place. Now the whole California is Mexican. The whole Cali, all the way up. San Francisco then crashed. Simi Valley, crashed. San Juan Capistrano, all that crashed. You understand? Because the black folks, the black man didn't stick together and stand on his square. That's why. And sit up here and other people come and push you out the way. That's why. And so now they want foundational black Americans to stand up for Haitians. Man, listen, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And so if you didn't scratch my back, then what? Then I'm not going to scratch yours. Black people in this country had the opportunity to really go far. And the main people that stopped our progress was black immigrants. Because if black immigrants would have came in and just been black, like white immigrants come in and just be white, we would have blew up. But black immigrants didn't come and be black. See, somebody asked me about the Ukrainians. They're not going to be Ukrainians. They're going to be white. They're not going to be Ukrainians. Look, let me give you some white history. It was a time like Chicago, New York. You had the Italian community. You had little Italy. You had little Greece, right? You had Polish town, right? You had Polish town, right? You had that. But they didn't want to be Polish and they didn't want to be all that no more. They wanted to be white. So your Italian son marries the little Jewish girl. Your Polish son married a little Jewish lady. Your your French daughter married an Italian. So they started mixing. They became white. So slowly, you didn't have a whole bunch of authentic Italian restaurants in Chicago no more. You don't got a bunch of authentic Greek restaurants in Chicago. You got a few, but you don't have no big little Italy or Greek town or nothing because now they're white. They mixed together and got on some racial tip and made the race bigger instead of being a small group of Italians, a small group of this. Blacks didn't play that role. The black immigrants, when they came over here, they should have did the same thing. They should have made sure their daughters married our sons, our daughters married their son. They should have became black. Then, instead of the percentage we are in the country now, guess how big of a percentage blacks would be? Instead of 13%, we'd be like 30%. We'd be 30% of the country. We'd be damn near a majority, or we'll be tied as a majority. It wouldn't even be no majority because we'll all have the same numbers. Facts. Then those blacks, they wouldn't have lost nothing because you still know that your great granddaddy was a Nigerian and your great grandma was a black American. So you still would have put money, and now you would have invested in Nigeria. Now you would have invested in Ghana. Then we would have been on some international trade. And we would have built a global black nation. Like you got a global white nation. Whites is a nation globally. Y'all could believe America, Russia's enemy. They not enemies. They white. They stick together. They're not enemies. They're not enemies. Look, what you see. Do they look like enemies? What color is all their flags? What color is American flag, Russian flag, British flag, French flag? What color is their flags? Red, white, and blue. That's what they standing on. They got you thinking they ain't united. Believe that if you want. China know better. China know Russia ain't really no enemy of the U.S. You think China really believe Russia's the enemy of the U.S.? China does not trust Russia because America and Russia is allies, and America got Russia right at Chinese back door and China's back door. And trust me, China got military pointed at Russia. Lots of it. You understand? So now when it comes to the brothers and sisters getting deported, why would we stick our neck out there and get ourselves caught up in the Haitians' problem when they never came up here and got caught up in our problems? They on their own. We don't wish bad for them, but we not standing up for nobody that didn't stand up for us. If you didn't come to this country and you didn't lock in with us, don't try to lock in with us when these Europeans come for your neck. You understand? No. No. Here in the United States, most Black Americans got babies by Black Americans. We got some mixing, but no, not really. Not like that. We have no relationship with Black immigrants. When you start talking about having babies together, then show me the business together. Show me any proof of any type of dealings together, because I don't see it. What are Black Americans and Haitians doing together? Nothing. When they have their concerts, they have their little Haitian group, and they have their little Haitian music, and it be all Haitians. When the Nigerians have their concert, it'd be some Nigerian music with some Nigerian audience and a Nigerian performer in the Nigerian area. That's it. Look how the Nigerians did the Essence Fest and tried to take it from us. They're not coming working with us. They coming to try to dominate us. They're not coming to try to dominate or try to compete with white America. All Black immigrant groups come and they don't compete against whites. We the only Blacks that compete against whites. All the other Blacks only compete against other Blacks, like lames. Facts. So they come over here and they help white America by competing against us. So now we got to fight white America and this nigga. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Sellouts. They don't never came in and locked in with us. I'm almost 70 years old. If you would have locked in, I would have seen it. Even the Jamaicans didn't lock in. That's why they lost reggae. That's why reggae died. The Jamaicans didn't even lock in like they were supposed to. None of them locked in. None of them built the Black population in America and became Black. They came and they took food out of our mouth. We was here and we was competing against white America. It was Jim Crow and all that. And my mom and daddy, they fought to ride the bus and to get jobs and to get into the system and to try to compete and try to grow within white America, to push for jobs from white America to compete. Blacks came over here and took food out of our mouth. They ain't take nothing from white America. They don't come. Nigerians' biggest enemy is us. You could see Africans all on the internet beefing with us. So you'll say, well, y'all beefing back with them. How is a billion Blacks not acting like the big brother and big sister? It's a billion Blacks in Africa. They don't supposed to be the big brother. They supposed to be the one reaching out with us. They supposed to be telling us not to beef with them. Who's supposed to be telling Black people to get along? Black Americans or Africans? If one group had to be the one to stand up to demand we work together, which group would it be? The 50 million Black Americans or the billion Africans? Mind you, the Africans hate the Africans. So they worthless. Please get them out of here. Because the Africans is at war in Africa with the Africans. So you know damn well they're not going to work with us. When the Muslim Nigerians is killing the Christian Nigerians, and y'all see what's going on up there in Northeast Africa. Y'all see what's going on, the genocide going on up there in Darfur. Oh, y'all don't see what's going on in Darfur. Y'all don't see how these Black men get in a religion and turn against other Black people over a religion. They put the religion before their race. Because that's what the Nation of Islam did once Elijah was gone. They put the Nation of Islam over the race. They was no longer black. They Muslims. They ain't worth a damn. Under Farrakhan, went up there and got all that money from the Million Man March, and we ain't seen a penny, nothing. And a black, you calling yourself a black Muslim, and every time I see a Muslim at the gas station, he's an Arab, he's a Pakistani or something. What kind of black Muslim is you? And you let other Muslims come in your neighborhood and take all the money from your people? Your Islamic brother, get his ass. The Nation of Islam won't even stand up against a Islamic brother and get him out of our community and say, we got this, we'll sell to our people. Thank you very much. Well, them Islamic people ain't got nobody to sell to. They ain't got no 50 million people like we do. So everybody want to come and they want to eat off us. Because one thing is, I respect white America. Because you ain't eating off of them. So that's why a lot of people be mad, because of the amount of respect I got for white America. I got the utmost respect for white America because you're not eating off of them. Period. When you drive to these suburbs outside of Chicago at night, at the gas station, you might see an Indian there. But drive out there in the day. It's young white people working at their gas stations. They ain't got no whole bunch of foreigners working at them gas stations out there. And a lot of them gas stations out there close at night. But if one is open, it might be an Indian dude. But other than that, all their gas stations, whites working in there. And you could drive from here all the way south to all the colleges and universities all the way south, because my daughter went to college down south. And you can drive down there and stop at a gas station. Every gas station is going to be a white person. May I help you? Every gas station. They're going to hire their own. They're going to hire their own. That's why hate on white people is not good, because you're supposed to learn from them. Hate will blind you. You too busy hating, you ain't learning. I don't care. You call somebody your enemy. If they doing good, you're supposed to admire what they doing right, and you're supposed to copy what they doing right. Damn sure better believe Ukrainians going to come here and they're going to lock in with white Americans, or their ass going to get kicked the fuck up out of here. I bet you that. I bet you Ukrainians cannot come here and get on the internet beefing with white Americans like Nigerians on the internet beefing with us. I bet you that. I bet you that. Somebody asked me about Ukrainians. I bet you them Ukrainians and them South Africans, I bet you they don't beef with white Americans. I bet you. How much you want to bet? They ain't no better. They're going to come in, they're going to humble themselves, and white America going to put them on. And after two generations, they're going to be white Americans. They the new white Americans. Facts. And blacks came here, they should have been the new black Americans. You still would have had your lineage. You should have came in and locked in. Now they're going to kick your ass out. And they know we don't care. Why would we? Why would I care about Haitians? I don't know no Haitians. I don't got no relationship with no Haitians. As a matter of fact, I went down to Florida. I was trying to do some illegal activities. And I went down to Florida. This was like 2000. I can't remember the date. No, this was like 1997. This was 1997. And I went down to Florida to pick up some stuff. And 1997, you know what I'm saying? We got the dreadlocks, right? So in that time, when you got dreadlocks, that was like the code for love and unity. So everywhere you go, no matter where you was from, Trinidad, England, Nigeria, Jamaica, Virgin Islands. If you had dreadlocks, when you would see a brethren with dreadlock, you'd be like, "What's up, brethren?" And yes, man. No matter where, there was like a dreadlock unity, because at that time dreadlock was Rasta. It wasn't Chief Keef and them wasn't out yet, so it wasn't no drill dreads. It was all cultural Rastafarian type dreads. So we go to this swap meet. I get a limousine, right? I get a limousine because I want to ride around. I don't want nobody to know who's in a limousine. We pull up to the swap meet, me and my brethren and my cousin. I used to take my cousin with me all the time. He's slow, but he's my cousin. So I just take him with me. He not even on our level, but me and my brethren and my cousin. I took them down there. I met a young lady that I knew down there. She bought us a couple women. Boom, boom, boom for them and all that. So when we get to the swap meet, I'm walking and I see like 3 or 4 brothers with dreadlocks. Me and my brethren, we got dreadlocks. So when we see them, we say, "What's up, brethren?" And they looked at us like this. That was the first time that ever happened to me. I was confused. So the sister I was with, I said, "What's wrong with them?" She said, "They Haitians." That was the first time I got introduced to Haitians and their mentality. We got the dreadlocks, they got the dreadlocks. We black, they black. We look the same. Say, "What's up, brethren?" They didn't say nothing. I was thinking, well, you know what? I'm prepared for that too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, well, listen, you know what I mean? We ain't really down here on no brethren shit. I'm down here trying to get a few birds. So I ain't really Rasta either right now. You know, I'm still Rasta, but, you know, uh, I'm the Rastafari House of Thugs. You know what I'm saying? I'm thugging out though. What? What is these? Okay, that's why I want the limousine. That's why I want nobody to see me in a limousine. I knew my instinct was right. Oh, they some haters. That's why they from Haiti. See, the word hate is the root word for hate. Haiti. Hate. Hate. It's not no coincidence. Hate is the root word of Haitian. Because they be hating. So now get them out of here. Because we sure ain't got no, well, we didn't know that at that time. This is 1996. Don't nobody know that stuff. We know that now. But this is 96. And Haitians was new. At that time, they was calling them what? The boat people, remember? They called them the boat people back then. I'm giving y'all old history, so some of y'all updating me. You gotta understand, if this 96, 2006, 2016, this 30 years ago, right? So we talking 30 years ago. You know what I mean? This was 30 years ago. So you got to put everything into context. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew. You know, we in Chicago. We don't know nothing about no Haitians. All we know the boat people, though. But this is our first contact with somebody with dreadlocks that's negative. That was new. Trust me, that was really new. In the mid 90s, that was unheard of. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because back then you got identified by your dreadlocks. You didn't get identified by where you was from. Dreadlocks was the super culture over all culture. When you had dreadlocks, you was one. We don't know them as Haitians. All we know is these some black brothers. This is our black brothers. Because even if you wasn't no roster back then, you would still held people up because you had Hebrew Israelites had dreadlocks too. You had Hebrew Israelites had dreadlocks. You had Kemetic brothers had dreadlocks, right? But all dreadlocks used to held each other up, whether they was Rastas or not, because everybody with dreadlocks went through certain discrimination. So imagine being black in discrimination when they hated blacks when my parents them in the 50s, early 60s. And imagine going somewhere and you see a black couple and you speak and they don't speak. It was like that. Because when I was a kid and we used to go like to Florida and stuff back in the 60s, as soon as we'll get to Holiday Inn and see a black family, it used to be all love with black people. Because we in a racist society, we surrounded by Europeans. So as soon as your daddy pull up and he start unpacking the car, you see another black family, it's like, hey, they go introduce each other. We meet with the kids. We find out what room they in. As soon as we check in, we go knock on them kids' door, and me and them kids, we run up and down the hallway. Why? Because we black, we sticking together. Well, that was the vibe with dreadlocks. Dreadlocks people oppressed you and held you down. So anytime you see somebody else with some dreadlocks, you're going to speak. Same with head wraps. Anytime a sister seen another sister with her head wrap, she might be a Muslim, she might be a Hebrew, she might be a Rasta, she might be a Pan-African, but still there's a love there based on the head wrap. Well, shoot, they wasn't on none of that. They looked at us, they didn't even speak. At what point you don't even speak with somebody greeting you positive? What's up, brothers? And you just look at them like that. And I'm sure they still like that. Some of them are rap like Kodak Black and them to get money, but they probably don't like us. Just here getting the money. A lot of these foreign blacks, when they be off to themselves, they hate us really. They only focus on us. They don't focus on white America, Hispanics, or nothing. All of their negative energy be towards us. And then they be like soft with it. You know what I'm saying? They won't just come outside of Chicago and then make it do what it do. Because, we can handle all that. That's another thing about it. It's all soft. It ain't like straight out because you ain't got the numbers to be straight out. So you like an undercover hater. Because if you outside, you're a straight hater, you get dead dirty, right? A Haitian, you come up here to Chicago playing like that, you know what happened. You're African too. You got to act like you got some sense, walk around these Chi-Town streets. Well, you can't come outside playing with us like that. So it's like an undercover hate. But the bottom line, there's nothing we losing. We don't lose nothing. And see, that's where you make a mistake. You make a mistake when you come to a country and America could deport you and your brothers and sisters don't miss you. That's your fault. We lose nothing if Africans and other black immigrants get deported. We don't lose anything. And that's a shame on their part. We should lose something. We should be like, no, not them. We lose this, we lose that if they go. We doing this with them. We ain't doing nothing with them. That's the part of the situation where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from no hate like I want to see brothers and sisters get deported. I'm saying we don't lose nothing. That's their fault. Why should we care about you when you've been here all these years and you ain't brought nothing to the table? Nothing. All you did was eat off the table, eat off the table, eat off the table. Like Wycliffe, you could tell he never liked us. You could tell. They was just in the rap just to get the money. They didn't give a damn about us. You could tell. Soon as the rap was over, he been totally distant for black Americans. Ain't said nothing. They ain't on nothing. And see, God don't like ugly. And so now they're going to deport them. Yeah, they're going to deport them. See, the term foundational Black American is used to describe the over 43 million Black Americans who are direct descendants of the formerly enslaved people, freedmen, who were emancipated in the United States. While the total Black or African American population in the U.S. is around 48.3 million as of 2023, the FBA designation significantly refers to a lineage that excludes those who are descended from more recent immigration from Africa and the Caribbean. Therefore, the number of foundational Black Americans is not the same as the total Black population. So I just wanted to touch on that because my thing to foundational Black Americans is shut up talking about ICE. Get off the internet talking about ICE. Mind your business. Stop posting about ICE. Stop posting about ICE grabbing people that don't give a damn about you. Why is you posting that? Stop posting it. ICE is not our problem. We ain't immigrants. So I can't understand why Black Americans give a damn about ICE and you trying to be against ICE, trying to make a problem. Oh, gee, one day they're going to come for us. Well, we cross that bridge when we get to it. But mind your business, especially Black men. It's crazy, some of these Black men with this. That's why SETI need to shut up. Because SETI doing more damage. You could tell him I said this. He damaging the Black Americans because he got us loving somebody don't love us. None of them Black people around the world like his ass. And if he go to Africa, they ain't going to say he a Ferengi. If he go to Kenya, he going to be Ferengi. He not going to be no African. He bogus, man. It's time for him to throw all that stuff he been saying in the trash and get on board with what's really going on over here as a Black American. And throw that stuff in the trash. Because if you want to teach about Kemet, but you ain't got no military to go and take it from the Arabs, you just running your damn mouth. Your punk ass can't even run shit in Detroit. You talk about Kemet. Bro, shut up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got no motherfucking weight in Detroit. You don't got no weight up in D-Town like that. I still got love for you, though, but stay in your place. That's what you got elders for. And then say that you phony because y'all talk elders. Then when the elders step in your ass, then now here you go. Now elders ain't no good. That's my job. You was out of line. You owe foundational Black Americans an apology, to be honest with you. And stand up for reparations. Why you ain't pushing reparations? You all that hollering and screaming, but you ain't screaming for reparations. What kind of revolutionary is you? I ain't finna beef back and forth with you because you little. Pan-Africanism is trash. I'm going to do a whole video on that, but it ain't going to be directed on him. I'm going to do that in a little while. We're going to address that later on today. That's going to get a whole video, but it ain't going to be directed at him like that. I ain't going to beef with him like that. He just need to shut the hell up and get on board with this reparation. You know what I'm saying? We don't care nothing about ancient nothing. One thing you young people got to understand, all that ancient history stuff, once you start having children and grandchildren, you're going to throw that shit out the window. You listen what I'm telling you. All that ancient Hebrew and ancient Muslim, once you have babies and then your babies start having babies, that's when you're going to be back in the real world. What you going to do for them babies and grandbabies? Because that ancient history ain't going to feed your children or your grandchildren. And you ain't going to watch none of your children graduate or get a certificate for no trade school based on no history or none of that. They're going to have to know how to do something. Because even the concept of going back to Africa with no technical skills is dumb as hell anyway, right? So you not SETI, you ain't standing on nothing because the Pan-Africanism with no skills is dumb. So even if SETI, if you was a true Pan-African, you would be talking about Black people learning plumbing, electrician, carpentry, so they could do something when they get to Africa. You can't just go to Africa on no ideology about Africa, just on no history of Kemet, ain't gonna feed you when you go back to the motherland. Boy, you on some little boy stuff. Step your game up, and y'all can send them this, clip them and send it to them. Said he step your game up. You on some little boy shit. You can't go back to Africa without Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, technical skills, carpentry, dentistry, plumbing, physicians, nurses. Not on no stories. Ain't no stories about ancient Kemet gonna help you survive in Africa. It ain't gonna help you survive over here. That's why you begging people to go to them websites and pay to watch that trash. Why would you support a group that is focused on undermining your FBA family? Exactly. You're 100% correct, Inspired. We need to be, the young generation, we need to be focused on making these people pay us. Because if we have, as we ask for reparations and we don't make these people pay us, they're going to punk us. They're going to punk us. Soon as they see you ain't standing on no business. But as far as ICE go, y'all shut up with ICE. You don't see no ICE. And let me tell you something, black man. Don't you be on the internet talking about ICE, because it make you look like a punk, right? If we don't say nothing, what that mean? That mean we not scared of no damn ICE. So act like you not scared. Because you talking about ICE, 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 I mean you scared. That's what that mean. And them people can smell fear. But when they see foundational Black Americans ain't saying nothing about ICE, they already know what that mean. That mean we know y'all ain't finna fuck with us. Okay? Don't keep talking about that. Especially when you already know you a citizen. You know you a citizen already. I was born in 1958. What the hell I care about ICE? They ain't gonna do nothing. I'm walking down the street. They see my dreads or whatever. They jump out. I'm like, whoa, 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 Chicago, 1958. I know how to talk to people. I know the art of knocking down aggression. It's a way to shut down aggression. It's an art. It's what we had to know to walk the streets of Chicago in the 70s, in the 80s, when it was super racist, when you had to know how to deal with the police, how to pull them to sleep. The police are reactionary. They can only act when you act. When you act, then they can react. That's the only way. They can't get angry or nothing if you don't put no energy out. If you don't put no energy out, they don't put no energy out. Because they not the police, they some dudes at work trying to make a living. You got to turn them back to dudes at work trying to make some living. But when you all aggressive, you turning them into police. Your job is to turn them back to the dude that can't wait to get on with his wife and eat some pizza. If you're a revolutionary, if you're a gangster, you don't get alarmed. And they can pick that up. If ICE jump out on me, it ain't gonna mean nothing to me. It just, to me, it look like some dudes wasting their time. I'm not gonna be like, and all that. I'm gonna be like, y'all jumping out on the wrong one. It's gonna be kind of crazy. It'll be kind of interesting to me because they ain't gonna do shit. What they gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing. They're not even here for that. The fact of the matter is that these deportations is good for Black Americans because they deporting a bunch of people that don't even like us. That's who they deporting. They not deporting your friend. They deporting people that's eating off our plate. There's only two worlds out here, y'all. Righteousness and gangster. That's it. And people talking about revolution, that's gangster. So it's only two words, righteousness and this gangster. That's it. And gangsters don't be scared and all that and shaking and quivering and stuff. We're going to handle our business. And for foundational Black Americans, rally the troops, keep your mouth shut. If things get out of line, then we'll take it from there. But we ain't going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. Simple as that. But let's not talk up no problem. Keep your damn mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth shut. Especially you Black brothers. Stop posting ICE like you scary. When you say ICE grabbing a bunch of illegals that don't belong here that might kidnap your damn daughter, and you up here standing up for some people that gonna bring fentanyl and all this stuff for the community. Hell yeah, get them the hell out of here. I speak for the righteous brothers. I speak for the hustlers. Them motherfuckers done fucked up the hustle gang. Put fentanyl on everything. Can't nobody make no money because you're going to get a murder case. As soon as you sell somebody a pack and they do it, they're going to pass out and die. And you're going to get a murder case. They messed up a lot of money. The cartels. Fuck them cartels. Them cartels fucked up the bag. Sure did. Turning just a simple substance sale to a murder. Yeah. And did it on purpose. Man, y'all think they sent that fentanyl up here by mistake? That's warfare. They trying to unalive Americans. That's why Trump and them down there with all them warships and shit. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They some haters down there. Down there south of the border down there. Some haters. They don't like you. They don't like us. They never did nothing for us. All that kumbaya shit, I'm not with none of that. I'm not with none of all that one love and no, I ain't never liked none of that stuff. As a matter of fact, for y'all, for historical reasons, the song One Love, One Heart, Let's Get, that was no racial song. That was a Rasta song where the Nyabingi and the 12 tribe and the Orthodox and the Bobo, they was fighting each other up in them camps. Bob wrote that song for the Rastas to stop fighting each other. My brethren Kojo, my elder, he told me sometime they would be at the camp in their hammocks and Rastas would come from another camp and be hitting them with tree branches and 2x4s and stuff. It was Rasta wars. That's what that song, One Love, One Heart, they took it and sold it out and made it some suck up to European song. Some old goofy Rastas turned it into, some hippie shit. Softened, made Rastas some pussy ass hippies, basically. Took the song. That song didn't even mean that. You know what I'm saying? And the other song went along with it was Israel Vibration, same period. We all gonna sing the same song, whether you a Bobo or whether you a kinky natty dread. That was singing about the same thing, how all the Rastas was beefing. We all gonna sing the same song and one love. It's the same, talk about the same situation that was going on. Black on black violence. It ain't about love. everybody anywhere. Because when you start talking about love everybody, then the song is until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. Say war. Sing that damn song. Sing the real song. What's gonna be popping if you mistreat us? One love is not the song. The song is His Majesty's speech. When people want to take His Majesty and make him a holy Jesus Christ instead of a revolutionary and a soldier too. You could tell I was always the black sheep in the conscious community because I was always the gangster revolutionary. And they like, oh, the peace and love and burning incense and sitting around like a little bitch. And they like that, but nobody really nobody really liked you, Pharaoh. Nobody really liked me because I was always on some revolution. I wasn't on none of that. You see what I was on? I was on some, hey, listen, man, my children need to be free. You know what I'm saying? Now, I sing a song to the Europeans. I got an R&B song for the Europeans. It go like this. One day, child, I won't have to listen to your lies. One day I'll be able to make up my own mind. I'm going to be all right. Yes, I am. I want to be free. That's my song. If you want to sing R&B song, talk about getting up under this shit, sing the Ohio Players. Yeah, sing that. One day, child, I won't have to listen to your lies. On that day, I'll be able to make up my own mind. Yeah, listen to that one. Anyway, I hope y'all learn. I'm going to come back later and talk about some more things. Y'all stay positive. Don't be arguing on the internet. And stand up for reparations for our people. Don't let nobody tell you to betray your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Our people pay a dear price. You know what I'm saying? And this is my grandfather on my father. This is my father's father. And when I was growing up, my daddy told me the stories about Alabama and what we went through in Mississippi and Alabama. And it was horrible. It was horrible. And what made me get in the reparations movement heavy is I had this picture sitting on the desk, like right like that. And one day I was listening to Yvette, and she was talking about adults, and she was talking about reparations, and she was talking about what they did to our ancestors and how they robbed our ancestors. And my granddaddy was just staring at me with the picture was there. And I kept listening to Yvette, and I kept looking at the picture. And then the picture was like, yeah, go get my money. That's what this picture telling me right now. Listen, grandson, go get my money. That's what he telling me. He said, grandson, they did me dirty. They treated me real bad. I take that shit personal. It ain't over. Just like the Jews keep talking about what happened in Germany. I don't understand how they could keep talking about what happened in Germany, but don't nobody respect us talking about what just happened to us just yesterday. Make some sense. Make some sense. It was just yesterday with us too. And Hitler unalived a bunch of Africans. A bunch of them. Yeah, it's a bunch of black people in them concentration camps. They ain't gonna tell you that part. Real talk. We want our money, you know what I'm saying? Victory.